so much for coming today. It's so nice to see all of you. Some of us have met, some of us are just meeting for the first time, some of us have worked together in the past year on the journey of bringing more inclusivity to the city, whether through arts and culture, and some of us are meeting for the first time together. I'd like to thank, of course, Mayor Cahill is traveling today, but I'd like to thank Mayor Cahill, our department heads, our councilors, residents, organizations, and visitors. And of course, the Beverly Public Library, amazing staff, and Hitmere Center for Cultural Engagement for inviting me here today. So Lauren and I met earlier this year, and since we've met, we have been anticipating working together. Little did we know that this would be the powerful way that we find each other. While most discussions on race around us focus primarily on the dominant tradition of racism and oppression, Hitmere and I have been able to have conversations that help us to look at the always present moral counterweight of close, loving friendships and collaboration. I feel like that's where we really wanted to establish like our ground together, and which is a great tradition for Beverly. So happy to be part of this month's living room conversation. Thank you everyone for having me here. I hope you're healthy and you're well and you're having a wonderful spring, getting your seeds on the ground and enjoying the beautiful weather. And it's an honor and privilege to share my first message as the Mayor's Office Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging Director. So I joined the City of Beverly government because, I know that's a big one, because I wanted to be part of Mayor Cahill's vision to become a national exemplar of anti-racism and inclusive excellence. The vision is one that is brave, bold, and will require all of us to be involved. These first few months, my focus has been on getting to know the Beverly community more in leadership and also at a ground level. I've had the opportunity to meet over 50 people individually from Beverly community and leadership for the last 2 months and learned so much, especially about our already ongoing DI initiatives. Through these conversations, it has become clear that Beverly community is ready to build on decades of DI work to position us to be the model city for anti-racism and inclusive excellence. So I've been using these two words, inclusive excellence, a lot because I feel that this is where my belonging energy comes in really clearly. And what model would that be? What is like an inclusive, excellent city? For Beverly, it is one where we are deliberate in establishing an inclusive environment in which all communities are welcomed and supported, experience a sense of belonging, and different perspectives are valued and encouraged. We are committed to equal opportunity across the board and will use best practices to challenge and respond to bias, discrimination, and harassment. Anti-racism and inclusive excellence become foundational in every program, process, policy, and procedure within the city. As we work together to become leaders in anti-racism and inclusive excellence. We aim to use our DIB office, resources, narratives, everything we can bring together as one mechanism to share outcomes, to be transparent, and to hold ourselves accountable. So after 2 months, I feel more comfortable to be able to define a vision. And I think this has been the hardest part for me. Most people like a vision to be very short. Mine was pages long, then it was a page long, then it was a paragraph long. And today I'm proud to say, 60 days into it, it's 3 sentences. So here we go. The City of Beverly, through its Office of DEIB, Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging, provides accessible, inclusive support to our growing community as we work with Beverly's diverse constituency to belong and thrive. Very simple. As the City of Beverly strives to be a national leader in inclusive excellence, a couple of changes in line with that goal have been implemented. some which I'm very proud to have been part of. I remember my first day having lunch with Mayor Cahill, and he says to me, he's like, oh, welcome to your first day at your job. How do you like it? And I was like, oh, I love it. It's wonderful to meet the team and just connect with everybody. And could we add belonging? On my first day. So to further support my mission as our city's DIV on my first day as Mayor Cahill's DIV director, I brought to attention the benefits of incorporating belonging in the Beverly City DI position. Today, our city has its own diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging office working alongside leadership, residents, organizations to collaborate in embedding racial equity into who we are, so as to better and reflect our city home vision. So that was really amazing to have my first day and to post this request. And I'm so happy that it was very well received, because I completely feel connected to diversity, equity, inclusion, but the goal for all of us is to have that sense of belonging, a real sense of belonging. So if that becomes the goal of our office, then diversity, equity, and inclusion is the road to belonging. As the city of Beverly strives to be a national leader in anti-racism and inclusive excellence, a couple of changes in line have continued to happen, which is to champion inclusive excellence through an environment that is safe and welcoming to everyone, one that is free of all discrimination and harassment. I would like to hear from you between now and hopefully I'll be in this position for a while, some of your experiences where you have felt safe, included, or you have felt a sense of belonging in the city, because I believe that these stories are very powerful, and they're the stories that make Beverly home. They're also the stories that become the pillars that we are looking to reinforce in an all-inclusive Beverly. Belonging for all people also means placing our focus on the Disabilities Act, assistive technologies, and protected class discrimination, which outlaws treating people unfairly based on their person's membership in a protected class, such as your race, national origin, religion, disability, age, sexual orientation, or gender identity. I know we all love Beverly. I lived in Beverly for a while. I truly, truly love Beverly. I had my babies here. And it's all that it has to offer to us. So that's why we're here today, to engage for a better tomorrow. So, my story. I think my story is one that has been hard to, or challenging to express, because it's one that is very multidimensional, multi-layered, that also comes through to different continents that lead me to Beverly. I have lived in Beverly for over 7 years with my husband, Paul Tebow, and our 2 daughters, Bridget and Simone. If you haven't met them yet, you will soon. They seem to be everywhere I am. Because I live here and I'm always, so they're always attending when I don't know, we had the autism acceptance event, and I had Mayor Cahill talking to my daughter Bridget while she climbed up the City Hall building on the side of it, like she was literally halfway up on the ramp. And I said, this is work, you need to get them. So if you haven't met them, you probably meet them at some of these events. That's what makes my work worthwhile, working for future generations. On the other hand, I'm a Kenyan-born American. I was born in Kenya in the late 80s to an upper-class family, and when our economic status shifted, my mother migrated to the United States to work as a nurse and left my brother and I behind, with family to look after us, but also for her to find an opportunity to an opportunity to better our lives. We were later reunited here in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts almost 15 years ago. My journey to becoming who I am today is one that solely leans strongly towards the impact of organized interdependence and prosperity sharing. A story about perseverance, personal responsibility, and accountability, but also a story about looking for the American dream. The American dream was not easy as we had thought as a family, since without access, due to various barriers, my mother and I fell behind. Late in immigration, visa renewals, school fees, rent, we had no access to housing, food, and good healthcare. I was getting tired and wanted to change the way that we lived.
Wangari. I have had a request to turn on the microphone
Yes.
for just better hearing.
Yeah.
So just take a second. I apologize,
No
everyone.
problem.